Hi, my name is Matt Eichenberry. I am a technical sales manager for Cover Pools. I'm here with Adam Maynard, also a regional head of sales for the Midwest. And today we are going to show you how to properly install and prepare your pre-concrete installation on a vinyl liner pool. It will include the full assembly of the coping around the pool, as well as assembling the ultimate polymer box. All right, right now we are actually going to assemble the ultimate polymer box, or UPB box for short. First, what we are going to do is take each assembled piece here. They all do come pre-cut, so you do not have to worry about cutting any ends. If you are doing the T4, you do have the option of having a 2-foot section on one side and a 2-foot section on the other side based on the way they are pre-cut. However, if you do want to cut the 1 foot off the other end to have a 1 foot and a 2 foot, and that is your choice. At the start here, we are going to take our splices and take about maybe a portion of the half off of the splice, and we'll actually go right ahead and stick it into the channel here. That way we stagger the splices. Keeping in mind we are using 5/16 self-tappers. That way it makes it easier for you guys when you are putting this whole thing together. You do not have to keep switching bits from 5/16 to maybe a Phillips or a square head, anything else like that. Now, each side of the splice will take 2 self-tappers. And on this side, since I choked up a little bit here, I'm actually going to choke in a little bit on this one, put this one inside this channel a little bit further. Reason being is when we do put both of these pieces together, it is a lot easier to get one splice in this side, and then you'll put this side in after the fact, making sure everything goes in really easily. Now, once you have both splices put in on one side of the box, all you have to do is take this side, making sure you put in one splice first and then the other, and then slide them together. Slide that side in. Now, you're going to see right here, this part gets a little bit tricky. There's these flanges on one side of the box that sometimes like to stick. I like to start off with some channel locks. If you are getting stuck right here, you can space these back out a little bit, and you take the channel lock and just pull these flanges right out. Making sure you go all the way around it. You grab those. Okay, and at this point, it should all open up, and we can get this whole box to go right together. Now, after you do that, make sure you put 2 self-tappers on this side, 2 self-tappers on that side, and it'll keep everything together. So once you get your box assembled to this point here, what we need to do is we actually need to go and measure the pool and make sure we have proper measurements so we can space out our lines on our box to determine what our flush lid riser needs to be, where our track's going to be, and so on and so forth going down the box. So we'll take this tape measure, and you go from the inside pool wall on that side to the inside pool wall on this side. Right here we have a 6-foot track space, so you got to keep that in mind when you're marking this box. So what I do is, in this situation, we're going to have a 2-foot section on one side and a 2-foot section on the other side for both the motor and non-motor sides. So I'll actually mark right now 2 feet. on this box. Okay? So from track space to the end of the box, that is your motor side. So after you make your 2-foot mark for your motor side, you need to put your tape measure on that mark and then go down, here you go, and mark 6 feet.
That being your track space.
That being your track space. Okay, go ahead and take that in. So far we have our 2-foot motor side here, our 6-foot track space, and then we'll have another 2 foot on that side extra for the motor side. Now this is the important part because we got to make sure that our flush lid riser is properly cut on this side, and to do so you need to take your transitional piece for your motor side and measure from track space in towards your motor side and make a mark. So right now I have 2 marks here. One of them is my 24-inch mark, and you can even mark this. This is your track space. Right here is your track channel that sits on the box. And then this here is your motor end. So if I were to measure this right now, from this line right here all the way out, I have 21.5 inches. That's what you need to make your motor side flush lid riser. So now we have our cut down motor end flush lid riser piece that goes on the inside of your box, just like this. And if I put this right to that line, I should be right at the end of this box here. So we're gonna actually screw this in now, again, using 5/16 self-tappers. Put one right at the end here. And one down on the other side of the riser. Okay, now you have your flush lid riser on your motor side done. We can actually go to the opposite side and do the same exact thing. Should come out to be the same size. So on your non-motor side, you're going to line your transitional piece up with that track space line and then make another line on the opposite side of your track channel width. So again, we can mark this. This is your track channel. This is your track space to this line. And then this is your non-motor side. I usually just label it NMS, non-motor side. So from here to the end, we have about 22 inches. So there is a little bit of a difference in the box length. However, that's not a big deal. We are going to make that up with the non-motor side flush lid riser. And we'll cut that down right now. So now that we have the non-motor side cut down, we can do the same thing that we did on the motor side, but over here. Setting it inside your box, lining it up with your lines that we made on the box. Go ahead and screw it right together. Okay, now that we have the motor side flush lid riser done and the non-motor side flush lid riser done, we can start assembling the back side of the box with the flush lid riser. This piece will be cut down from the factory. You should not have to cut this down unless you do a custom size to your box, and it will just go right on the back just like this. Now if you do have a longer box than this, it will come with roll pins, and the roll pins will go here and here on one side, and then you'll bring in the other piece and those roll pins will connect these two and keep them together while you're putting it on the box. Okay, I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. Now when you're putting these screws in, you can go about every other rib all the way down the box, spaced out at approximately 2 feet, and that'll be plenty of support for this riser. At this point, we are actually almost done assembling the box. We just have to put the end caps on, and then we do have a few spacers that we put in the box before you pour concrete. These end caps here have holes that are designated in spots that will go the same place as your roll pins on each side of your box. What this does is it allows the box to be pressed together properly to the proper spacing, and it's all pre-aligned just for you. What we really tried to do with this box is make this as easy as possible for you guys to assemble and put onto your pool wall. That way it makes this the best and easiest install for you. Now that you have your end plate on, the end cap goes just as such inside the box and then out, making sure it doesn't go too far. Keep it nice and flush with the back side, and then you're going to put screws around the perimeter. Now all we have to do is repeat the same process on this side.